Hi, I'm Josh. This is my channel, Newtons per second. Welcome, everyone. I'm starting a new build series. This is the extension on the Jupiter 3 rocket. I'm adding an additional 30 inches on the upper airframe and adding an electronics bay. So this will be full dual deployment. In this video, I fiberglass the upper airframe, sanding, and painting. I like to say all I use for fiberglassing is the Bondo brand resin. It sets in 12 minutes fast and pretty much cures rock hard in about 30 minutes. And also I use Bondo's fiberglass cloth that you get from automotive store. I think it's like 6-ounce stuff. And where this is a 7.5-inch airframe, one sheet of that is just enough. You don't even have to cut it. It's perfect. It has 1-inch overlap. Don't have to trim. You leave the ends, on there and just trim them after before it all hardens up too much. And that's it. That's all I use. The drawback is where it sets pretty fast. This finish isn't all that great. It could be smoother. Could sand you some work. I don't Mylar wrap it. I just kind of like coat it and then I just deal with sanding it after. Wasn't after looking at this being totally perfect, but when you stand back 10 feet, it looks good. So, on with the build.
All right, big step here. We're getting ready to fiberglass the upper section for the Jupiter 3. Before fiberglassing, my suggestion, and I've seen this from other people posting, is make sure you have everything ready. So I've got like some alcohol, paper towels, squeegee, got my sandpaper, the resin's out, stuff to mix the resin, you got your cloth, gloves, everything. And everything you're going to be fiberglassing. So the sled, I'm going to fiberglass the face, the bulk plates for the eBay, the tops I'm going to fiberglass, and I have the station to set the airframe on. So when I fiberglass that, I can just wrap it and it'll be on this roll. And one more thing I'd like to point out, I made these center rings that goes inside here, and that will slide into the rod over there. And what that will do is it'll keep the cloth kind of centered. So one thing I don't do is peel off this shiny layer here on the airframes from Lock Precision. I think it just takes away another thickness from everything. So I just sand the surface till it's not shiny anymore, and I find that the resin or epoxy, whatever you use, will seep through and get into the main airframe. So I don't know if you can see, there is a little bit of a layer, and when you peel it off, I feel like you kind of lose a little bit of the tube. So I leave it on, sand it. This is 320 sandpaper, and that's fine, and just kind of get the shine off. Wipe it down with alcohol after to get rid of any of the dust, and you're good to go. Alright, I'm going to wipe this down with some alcohol. Get rid of any dust or debris. So all I'm using for this project is Bondo's cloth. I believe this is a 4-ounce cloth, and their resin. This sets in 12 minutes, so you have to work super fast. I've done this before a few times, and it sets like even 15 minutes, a half hour. It's rock hard and ready to be sanded. And I could be fiberglassing this, sanded, and painted all in one afternoon. Easy. Alright, I got these center rings in. These were like some spare rings I cut. They were a little loose, so I just put some tape on there and kind of stiffen up the fitment. And the rod's going to go through here and hold the tube centered. That way, when I'm working with the fiberglass cloth, it's not, without this, the rod's going to hit up here and get in the way of the fiberglass material. So by having the rod go through the middle of the airframe and stay there, I can work with it a lot easier. Alright, got the fiberglass cut. I'm going to mix the resin and get this going. Got all the pieces cut for the bulk plates, and I want to throw a layer on the sled.
Next video is going to cover the electronics bay construction. That's making the sled from scratch, cutting the threaded rods, the vent band, and all that stuff. So that'll be in the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.